name is Ann Banks, and I live in New York City. 4 years ago, I started a website called Confederates in My Closet about ancestors on the wrong side of history. The website was based on an archive of papers and memorabilia I inherited from my father's Alabama kin. For many years, I was allergic to those papers. I didn't grow up in the South, and I never thought Alabama had anything to do with me, or that the past did either, for that matter. I shoved the family archive to the back of my office closet and didn't think about it for years. But in 2017, after the white supremacist demonstrations in Charlottesville, I knew it was time to take the Confederates out of the closet. It was time to face the enslavers in my family. I didn't have to look far. The main slaveholder in my direct lineage was my second great-grandfather, Albert James Pickett. I'd been aware of him as an author and historian. He wrote the first history of Alabama. But I learned he was also a planter and slaveholder and owned 2 plantations near Montgomery. In the early part of his life, he worked as a journalist, and with some digging, I tracked down several of his vigorous defenses of slavery. In one of these, he argued that slavery was essential. The Southern climate, he wrote, was so destructive to the constitutions of whites that the land could never have been cultivated without African labor. Researching A.J. Pickett online took me to Afrogenius, a website that helps African Americans trace their enslaved ancestors. And there I connected with a woman from Iowa named Karen Orozco Gutierrez. She was seeking information about an Alabama planter named Pickett. She believed that her great-grandfather, Milton Howard, had been enslaved on his plantation. Karen and I got to know each other by email and decided to travel to Montgomery together to research our ancestors. Karen was hoping to locate a document that would confirm A.J. Pickett as Milton's enslaver. Despite the long odds against this, she succeeded in doing that. And after years of searching, she finally had a fixed point from which to navigate. For myself, I learned that the stories of my slaveholder family had been there all along, waiting for me to become willing to know them. And I learned that once that willingness arrives, it's no longer possible to look away. The white supremacist myth of the lost cause has flourished for more than 150 years, one family story at a time. I started Confederates in My Closet to challenge those stories in my family and in myself. As such lies get passed along, so must they be undone.